This company is going to be handed over to my sister, Anna, so you're being fired.
Her? One day, I was suddenly summoned to the president's office, where my mother, who is also the president, delivered this news with a laugh. Smirking beside her was my sister, Anna. I had worked my hardest in my mother's company. It was my only place of belonging. I didn't need to become the president, but I wanted to continue working here at least. I don't understand. Please tell me the reason for my dismissal.
Reason?
My mother glanced at me with a mocking expression on her face and said,
It's obvious, isn't it? You're ugly. Did you really think you could become the president? Stop being so conceited, you ugly pig. There's no way someone like you could become the president. Besides, having you as the president would be laughable. It's embarrassing, you know. It would ruin the company's image. The one suitable for this company is my beautiful and cute sister, Anna.
My mother and sister laughed haughtily. I understand. Bai said that and left the president's office. However, once I decided to leave the company, my mother started bombarding me with phone calls. My name is Emily. I have a mother and a sister named Anna. My mother is the president of a cosmetics company and she's a beautiful person. Anna, resembling our mother, has been cute and beautiful since she was young. As for me, I resemble my father and I'm neither cute nor beautiful. I was always called ugly and fat by my mother as I grew up. Our father, who apparently passed away when I was young, left us with only our mother to raise us. Despite being the president, my mother always seemed busy, but when it came to Anna, it was a different story. Although she would say things like she's too busy or she doesn't want to walk next to an ugly person like me, when Anna asked for something, she would respond with, "Sure, let's go."
But what about your work, Mom? It's fine for Anna. I'll manage for her sake. Yay. I love you, Mom. Anna is truly adorable. Now, Anna, let's go buy new clothes.
Mom, can I come too?
Huh? You should stay home and look after things. I wouldn't take someone like you, who is ugly and fat, with me, right? Besides, looking at your face reminds me of your father and it irritates me.
It seemed that my mother truly despised my resemblance to my father. She treated me coldly, prioritized Anna over me, and would always go out to various places with Anna, leaving me at home. I hardly have any memories of going out with my mother. Even as a child, I understood that my mother disliked me. Time passed, but my mother's attitude remained the same. She continued to prioritize Anna, and I continued to be called ugly and fat. And before I knew it, I was a third-year high school student.
Emily, have you decided which university you're going to?
Ha ha ha. I still haven't decided.
I see, neither have I.
Conversations about university choices became more common around me. I didn't have any particular university I wanted to attend, and I thought it would be fine to decide what I wanted to do after entering university. But with my mother, it would probably be pointless to talk about it. However, I decided to talk to her about it anyway. Mom?
What? I don't have anything to talk about with an ugly person like you. The thing is, I want to go to university. Her?
Deep down, I thought I knew it. My mother looked at me with a mocking expression and said,
We don't have money to send someone like you to university. Anna's still going to need a lot of money, you know? So, get a job.
I understand. As I expected, there was no way my mother would allow me to go to university. I ended up finding a job. However, I couldn't put my heart into job hunting, and since there were few companies that would hire a high school graduate, it took a while for me to find a job. And then,
I guess you really are useless, unlike Anna. Fine, I'll take you in. After all, I've been raising you all this time, so do something useful. You'll work as a salesperson for our company's cosmetic products. At a low-tier drugstore, of course.
With a condescending smile, my mother said,
It's a bottom-rung job, just like you, right?
and gave me that order. And so, I started working as a salesperson for cosmetics at my mother's company. Welcome. It's been quite a while since I started working as a salesperson at the drugstore. There were many beautiful and assertive people in the workplace, and perhaps due to my environment growing up and the memories of my mother and Anna, I couldn't handle customer service well, and my performance suffered.
Why is that person even in this store?
She's nothing more than a burden.
Because she's ugly. The cosmetics don't sell, right? No one wants to buy cosmetics from someone who uses them to become ugly.
Haha, you're right. My colleagues laughed and purposely said these things while looking at me.
And she doesn't resemble the president or Anna at all, does she?
Maybe she was picked up somewhere. Laughing, the two of them walked away. I couldn't say anything in response and continued checking the products silently.
Emily, don't worry about what those people are saying.
Kami. Kami is the only one in this workplace who talks to me normally without insulting me. Kami is a high school student working part-time at this drugstore. She knows all kinds of cosmetics, from those made by manufacturers to branded ones, and she's really good at makeup. But what they are saying is true, and it's strange for someone like me, who is ugly and fat, to be a cosmetics salesperson.
Emily, you're not fat or ugly, okay?
Moo. While saying that, Kami gets angry for my sake. But
The reason our store's performance is poor is because of their attitude towards customers.
it's true that there's a problem with me.
Alright, Emily, do you have time later? Leave it to me?
Kami left with a smile, and I can only watch her, not understanding what's going on. After work, Kami led me to the break room and started doing my makeup for some reason. Kami?
It's fine. Leave it to me.
I didn't understand why, but I had no choice but to follow Kami silently. And it was done. Wow, is this me? When the makeup was finished, the person I saw in the mirror that Kami handed me was completely different.
I knew it. I always thought you had a face that could look good with makeup. Emily, you say you're ugly, but look how much you can change with makeup.
I couldn't take my eyes off the mirror. I had been called ugly and fat by my family and everyone around me for so long. I thought it was normal because I had been told so repeatedly. But, Kami, do you think I can do it too?
Of course. If you're okay with me, I'll teach you anytime.
Thank you. I didn't have any confidence in anything because I had been called ugly and fat for so long. Maybe even I can change. That's what I thought. From then on, I started studying makeup desperately. I tried various cosmetics on my own face, taking detailed notes of how they felt and experimenting with different techniques to hide my concerns. I took photos from various angles and washed them off with cleanser, then moved on to the next set of products. I didn't just suggest the products, but first listened to the customer's concerns during consultations and introduced products that could solve those concerns. Even if someone said they wanted to become beautiful, their definition of beauty could vary, such as wanting larger eyes, wanting to make their skin look nice, or wanting to hide pores. I introduced not only our company's products but also cosmetics that the person would be happy to use and that could solve their concerns. Emily, the makeup primer you told me about was amazing. I'm glad you liked it. Also, I'm interested in this other product. But with this one, you can use it like this. I wanted to see more happy faces from customers, so I continued studying makeup.
Emily, you've been different lately.
Kami, do you think so?
You've changed. You've become much brighter, and the feedback from customers has been really good.
Hee hee, that makes me happy. The turning point was when Kami did my makeup. I was happy to hear her say that I had changed. I felt like I could prove that I can change if I want to. And so, days like that continued. Then, one day, what, me, Alan, the president of a department store, approached me and asked if I wanted to work as a salesperson in the cosmetics section of the department store. Apparently, when Alan happened to visit this drugstore, he saw my customer service and wanted me to work in the department store as well. Of course, I immediately agreed. Alan had already talked to my mother without me knowing. So, without any complaints from my mother, I started working at the department store, selling our own cosmetics. My sales performance at the department store was excellent. Before I knew it, word had spread about me, and I was grateful to receive many requests not only to hear about the products but also to see makeup demonstrations in person. When Alan heard about it, he said,
Emily, why not try doing an event at the store?
"An event."
Your reputation has spread, and the store's sales performance has been amazing. Your reputation was already good to begin with, so I thought it would be great. Of course, it won't be a burden for you. Just a few hours on weekends are fine.
If you're okay with me, I'd love to do it. As Alan, the president, walked away, saying,
I knew you'd accept. I'm counting on you.
I felt an indescribable joy welling up from the depths of my heart. I had been called ugly and fat, looked down upon by my family. But then I met Kami, and thanks to makeup, I was able to change. If I can change, maybe there are others who can change like me. I wanted to see more smiles of happiness from customers. And above all else, maybe if I work harder, my mother might reassess me and my worth. That feeling was strong within me. So, I conducted surveys to understand customer needs for events tailored to their preferences. I compared new products with the ones we had been selling, and my days became busy. Thanks to the overwhelming response to the events I handled. There were even long lines forming when events were held.
Emily, it's a great success.
Yes, thanks to President Allen.
You look so happy.
Yes? Maybe, could I have contributed something to my mother's company?
Emily?
President Allen seemed like he had something to say, but maybe, as the president, he had heard about the difference in attitudes between my mother, Bella, and me. However, I had the pride of contributing to the company's sales. When I passed my mother in the company hallway,
You're amazing, aren't you?
she said, casually passing by. Even though my mother walked away without saying anything more, it made me happy to receive praise from her for the first time. I felt an overwhelming sense of happiness amidst the busy preparations for the events. But this feeling was pure arrogance on my part. Afterward, I would come to realize my mistake.
I'm giving the company to Anna. You're fired.
What? One Monday, I was suddenly called to the president's office, where my mother, the president, announced with a laugh. Anna stood beside her, wearing a smirk on her face. I don't understand. Why suddenly? I need a reason. Please tell me the reason.
Reason?
With a mocking expression on her face, my mother glanced at me, then said,
Of course. It's because you're ugly. Isn't it obvious? Did you actually think you could become the president? There's no way a person as ugly and fat as you could become one. Think about it. If you became the president, it would lower the company's value, right? The one deserving of this company is Anna, who is beautiful and cute, right?
My mother and sister laughed together. I never once said that I wanted to become the president, and I didn't mind if Anna became one. I was just hoping that my mother would appreciate me a little. I was a fool. I realized that I had worked so hard for what purpose, and that these people hadn't understood anything about me. But I have events that I'm responsible for.
So what? That's none of our concern.
No, this was the only place I had found. But so many customers are waiting for me, and I'm contributing to the company's sales.
Eck. You're so annoying. I've already told you that you're fired. Starting next week, Anna will be the president. So, you should shut up and obediently follow along. Just watch as Anna quickly surpasses your sales.
This can't be.
Anna is scheduled to become the president next week, so I'll give you 1 week's grace. Make sure to say a proper goodbye to those you've been working with. It's decided.
Yes. I felt a sudden shift from the happiness I had been experiencing to a feeling of being thrown into hell. My mother and Anna didn't care about me at all, and they said to me,
All right, the conversation is over. It's such a relief to think that we won't have to see your face anymore. Hurry up and leave. If we stay together any longer, your ugliness might rub off on us. By the way, doesn't it get hotter when you're in the same room as a fatty? It's so hot, hot.
even though I had been suddenly fired, I couldn't cause any more trouble for those involved. With that determination, I hurriedly contacted various people and made appointments. I sacrificed my days off and spent the remaining days.
Emily, don't get too down.
Hee hee, thank you.
Don't worry. Emily, you can make it anywhere.
Thank you, I'll do my best. Fortunately, as I made my rounds of greetings, I received many words of encouragement. While listening to those who were reluctant to see me go, I made my final visit to President Allen, the person who had been the most helpful.
Emily, I heard what happened. It must have been tough.
I see you heard about it. Feeling pathetic, I couldn't bring myself to look President Allen in the eyes. He had suggested the idea of events at the store, but I had ended up abandoning them midway. I also felt sorry for that. Thank you for everything as the president. I'm sorry it turned out this way.
Emily, about that. Would you like to continue working here?
Her?
Since you started doing events, the feedback about you has been amazing, and customers really love you. It would be troublesome for us if you left.
I was surprised to hear such words from President Allen. I was frozen in shock and couldn't respond. Ignoring my stunned state, President Allen continued speaking.
If you're okay with it, I want you to become our exclusive makeup artist. Of course, it's up to you.
Are you serious?
Absolutely. I was actually planning to talk to you about it soon. It's a dream come true.
Thank you. Please let me do it. Once I felt like I was in hell, but now I felt like I was in heaven. I clung to President Allen's grateful offer. From then on, I started working as an exclusive makeup artist at President Allen's department store. I could see the smiles of happy customers once again. That thought motivated me to put even more effort into my work. Of course, I didn't cut any corners, just like before. However, one thing changed. Until now, I prioritized promoting the products from my mother's cosmetics company. But honestly, some of them were inconvenient to use or contained ingredients that weren't good for the skin. When I actually tried them, I found that they didn't live up to their marketing claims. Since I had been fired, these issues became more apparent. As a result, I stopped promoting my mother's company's products altogether. There were many better products available, and I wanted customers to have the best. I continued my days like that, and one day, after almost a month, I thought that the phone call might come soon. Just as I had that thought, my mother called me.
Emily? Are you having trouble with your job now? Come back to our company.
Her?
Since you left, our sales have drastically declined, you know.
I hadn't noticed until I checked my smartphone during my break, but my mother had left an unbelievable number of missed calls. There were also numerous messages on the voicemail, all saying that they wanted to rehire me or asking me to come back. The messages were all similar in content. I could only sigh. In fact, a while ago, President Allen had told me about my mother and sister.
Emily, it's about your mother and sister.
The stories I heard from President Allen were shocking. They had imitated me and organized makeup events at their company, using only their own products. During the events, they repeated statements like,
Makeup is a privilege for beautiful people like us, not for ugly ones.
they even insulted customers whose faces they didn't like, saying things like,
Using our cosmetics won't make you beautiful. You need a decent starting point.
naturally, customers were outraged. As this behavior continued, customers stopped coming and eventually, their business partners.
Emily treated each person with care and provided attentive service to customers.
Various people praised me. But my mother and Anna didn't like that and caused a scene. In the process, they accidentally revealed the reason they fired me. Of course, firing someone for being ugly wouldn't hold up in any normal situation. The news of my unfair dismissal spread to their business partners, and more of them withdrew.
President Allen had heard about the rumors and said, Be careful, you never know what they might do. We would be in trouble if something happened to our esteemed exclusive makeup artist.
He said, smiling at the end, but there was no smile in his eyes. Remembering that, I felt a little scared. Just then, my mother's voice brought me back to reality.
Hey, Emily, aren't you having trouble at your job? Come back to our company.
I'm sorry, but that's impossible.
What do you mean?
I'm currently working at a different company.
Just quit that place.
I listened to my mother's words with a cold heart. I felt that the little bit of familial sentiment that had remained within me had completely disappeared. Why are you joking like this? You're the one who said I was fired because I'm ugly. Suddenly, you want me to come back? You've gone too far. But nothing.
Then, at least use our products.
Your company's products have been getting worse and worse. They're not something I can honestly recommend to customers. I want to provide customers with truly good products, so I have to decline.
What? How ungrateful. Have you forgotten all the support we gave you? You heartless person.
Heartless? Let me remind you that when I said I didn't want to leave the company, you didn't listen, did you? Don't call me again. Goodbye. After ending the call, I blocked my mother's contact. She had always focused on Anna, never listening to my side of the story. Perhaps, without realizing it, tolerating their words had become the norm for me. But standing up for myself and giving a retort made me feel relieved. As for my mother's company, as expected, the sales continued to plummet. They tried to revive the situation by developing new products, but most of them turned out to be inferior despite the high prices. They must have tried to cut costs and sell at a higher price. Of course, when I had the chance to recommend them, I honestly replied, I cannot recommend them. With such a situation persisting, my mother's company accumulated significant debt and eventually went bankrupt. Currently, both my mother and Anna are working part-time jobs to make a living. It's quite anticlimactic. Anna called me a few times, but I also blocked her number. At this point, I no longer cared about my mother and Anna, and although I didn't have any fond memories, I was grateful. Thanks to them, I was able to find something I loved and pursue it. I could do what I wanted. I continued to work hard, focusing on providing customers with good products and offering personalized service to each individual. As a result, I gained fans, and word of mouth spread. Recently, I even had an interview with a television station. Good things kept happening, And now I even have the responsibility of managing overseas stores, traveling around the world on business trips. And the biggest surprise of my life awaited me. Today, an event was being held in the United States after a long time. President Allen came to check on me.
Emily, how are things going?
President Allen: Yes, thanks to you, everything is going well. Perhaps because it was my first event in America in a while, President Allen visited to see how things were going. I had something I really wanted to ask him. President Allen, thank you so much.
What's the matter? It's sudden.
I've been deeply grateful to you, President Allen. I owe my current situation to you. I don't know how to express my gratitude.
Ha ha ha. If that's the case, you're welcome.
President Allen,
What is it?
why did you treat me so well? Why did you go out of your way for me?
Well,
President Allen fell silent, as if contemplating something. I waited for his response, sensing that he was thinking deeply.
Emily, the truth is, I am your father.
But my father passed away when I was little.
So that's what she told you.
Letting out a sigh, President Allen, my father, began to explain. He revealed that both he and my mother held high positions in their respective companies at the time of their divorce. They became distant due to their busy work lives, leading to more fights and eventually their divorce. Even after the divorce, my father had heard about my mother, Anna, and my situation. He regretted causing me pain and had wanted to meet me, but my mother refused any contact, so he couldn't see me. And he had been silently supporting me, having heard the rumors about my reputation. I see, so that's how it was?
I'm sorry for keeping silent for so long.
And inviting me to do events, was that also because of?
That's different. No, it's not entirely different. But I believe that if anyone could succeed, it would be you, Emily.
What do you mean?
I had heard rumors about you. That you were a very pleasant salesperson. And when I actually saw you, I could tell that you cared about the customers, treating each one with care. That should be the norm, but not everyone can do it. People like Anna.
As I remained silent without saying anything, my father continued.
That's why I thought you would succeed. And now you have succeeded, and you have created connections. Haven't many customers who heard about your reputation come to see you?
Indeed, when he mentioned it, I realized that most of my customers had come through word of mouth. I hadn't engaged in much advertising or promotion. More and more customers came because they had heard about me and wanted to consult with me. I guess that's true.
The connections you have built are valuable. Treasure them.
Smiling, my father looked at me. It all started because I couldn't do anything at first and joined my mother's company, where I met Kami. Perhaps if I hadn't met Kami, I wouldn't be where I am today. Thanks to Kami, I learned about makeup, and it's possible that the connections I've made have led to my current situation. Yes, you're right. I made up my mind to treasure the connections I had established and to continue creating new connections. That's what I wanted to do.